Okay, great stuff. Let's finish the last three questions on the throughput. So, um, sorry, let me just do this. Here we are. So let's look at 60. Which of the following is not true of throughput accounting? So first of all, throughput accounting considers that only variable costs in the short run are materials and components, and we've discussed that, right, haven't we? Materials are really, well, and components are really the only variable cost that we're dealing with. Throughput is very much a short run, short term decision. Well, again, it's not a decision-making tool. It's so easy to fall into that trap because you do end up making decisions, but the initial idea was not for decisions, which is comes there to D, which is throughput was designed as a decision-making tool for situations where there's a bottleneck in the production process. So it wasn't actually designed as a decision-making tool. It was very much a performance measurement tool, just to actually measure throughput. I think in the exam, if you got something like this, the examiner would have to be sort of cautious because you are making a lot of decisions. So all you will have is this contentious issue. So I think more in the reality of it, I think this type of thing will be avoided because lots of decisions are made in the short term based on throughput. So I think that's maybe slightly dodgy answer there. So throughput accounting considers that time at the so it's almost by a process of elimination you get here. So come to see, throughput accounting views stock building as a non-value adding and therefore discouraged. So this is very, very true. Throughput does not like stock accounting. It won't respect you for that, as in respect your accounting for it. It will just look at the materials bought versus the materials sold, because it really is trying to discourage lean accounting. Anything else would mean that you could create cost of sales and therefore actually have a higher return, but it makes sure you bring in all the cost of that inventory in there. So you can't take that advantage. Throughput accounting considers that time at a bottleneck resource has value, not elsewhere. And that's really the point, isn't it? The point is that the bottleneck resource is the place where we are observing what's going on and trying to work on it, if you like, and trying to make the best of that resource. So that's really the case, really, compared to the others. So the answer here, by a process of elimination, is D. Although I won't be, I think you'd be fine if you thought this was a decision-making tool. You're not wrong. It's just that it wasn't initially designed for that. So the answer, though, is D. Which of the following is the definition of throughput accounting ratio? We know that is throughput per hour divided by your factory costs, or if your conversion cost per hour. So this is throughput contribution. This is not it. Conversion cost, we know that's not it. Throughput per hour, that's enough, and conversion cost per hour, that's also enough. So the answer is C. And finally, the last question, I highlight that throughput is not interested in your savings of raw materials. So let's look quickly at the revenue from here. It says you're selling your 35 pounds and you're selling 800. You sold 800 units, so 35 times 800 takes you nicely to, oops, sorry, I'll just come back there. 35 times 800 takes you to 28,000. And then you want to find what the cost is. Now, you bought £13,000 worth of product. Now, the thing about this opening material inventory use is this was dealt with the last time you calculated throughput, as in the last period. You just subtracted all of this. You didn't sort of do any cost of sales. So we just look at what it is you bought in that period. Lean accounting, buy as just in time as you want, as you need. So 13,000. The assumption is you bought £13,000 worth of inventory because you thought you needed it, and so that's how it looks at it, and that becomes, if you like, your throughput. And then, of course, the question really has to be to look at the factory costs, which is the labor cost and the overheads, which is the 6,900 plus the 4,650, 11,550. We know that really return per hour divided by factory cost per hour really we have hours really cancelling out each other. Ultimately, we're really looking at the return per hour divided by the factory cost per hour, especially when we're talking about the same product in the same industry, in the same factory. So really we can just look at the ratio of 15,000 by 11550. And so 15,000 divided by 11550 gives us a figure of 1.298, and that's close enough to 1.3. So that's that. All right, brilliant. And that's that. So I'll see you in the next set of questions on environmental accounting.